Welcome back, McFly subscribers. We're continuing our Mayfly dry fly series with this extended body mayfly. While it looks difficult, it's really not that hard to do, and it doesn't take many materials either. See, I told you we'd be tying some unique flies in this series.
This is McFly Angler.
And it starts now.
Alright, let's get started tying. We'll begin by making the extended abdomens. For that, we'll need a sewing needle, some GSP thread, some standard tying thread, I'm using brown Vivis 10-aught, and some dry fly dubbing. And here is fine and dry, and a small clump of deer or elk hair. Place the sewing needle securely in the vise like so. Start your GSP thread and trim off the waste. You'll want a very sharp pair of scissors for this stuff. It's incredibly strong. Since it's a flat thread, spin your bobbin to flatten it out even more, so it forms a smoother thread base. Now wrap up the needle to however long you want the abdomen, and then wrap back down. For larger flies, make it longer. For smaller flies, shorten it up a bit. And we're mainly using this GSP thread here to form a thread base. Since it's extremely slick, it'll help the finished abdomen slide off the needle later. By the way, this is 30 denier, which is rather thin. You could use a thicker one, but Vivis sells this 30 denier, which is awesome. And I even snagged you guys a discount with Vivis. More on that later in the video. Okay, once you're done, whip finish and trim off the thread. Now grab a fairly generous amount of dubbing, and we'll be wrapping this around the needle. But because GSP is so slick, the dubbing will just slide right off. So I like to use a little bit of Solarez ultra thin resin to adhere the dubbing to the thread base. Okay, cure it with your UV light, and now the dubbing will grab much better. Use the rotary feature on your vise to form the dubbing abdomen. We want a gradual taper here, thinner near the needle point and thicker towards the vise. Add more dubbing as needed, especially towards the rear where we want a fuller abdomen. You can smooth things out by spinning the vise while lightly pinching the dubbing with your fingers. Once you've built a smooth, tapered abdomen, start your regular tying thread and trim off the waist. Now clip 3 elk hairs and align the tips. Tie them in on top of the needle, with the tips extending about 1/3 the length of the abdomen. Then separate the fibers so they fan outward like this, and now we'll start forming the segmentation. Span over the top of the abdomen and make a straight wrap underneath it like so, and this will form the first segment. Repeat the process, making each segment slightly larger as you work rearward. Keep an eye on the deer hair as well to make sure that it stays centered on top. Once you reach the back of the abdomen, trim off the deer hair and whip finish. Then I like to add a little more of that UV resin over the tail fibers to help keep them split apart. Now to remove the abdomen from the needle. Grip it firmly and rock the vise back and forth gently, and it should slide off cleanly, leaving you with a perfectly segmented extended abdomen and tail. Usually I'll make a few of these bodies before moving on to finish the flies. Now let's start tying the actual fly. Place the hook securely in your vise. For hook, I'm using Resin's Barbless Caddis Scud 2490 in size 14. Normally with mayflies you want a longer shank dry fly hook to create the abdomen length, but since the abdomen is separate here, we actually want a shorter shank hook like this scud hook. And we don't have to worry as much about using an ultrafine wire either, because there's less hook weight overall, and the extended abdomen itself is extremely buoyant. Start your thread right behind the hook eye, and trim off the waist. And bring your thread down slightly past the hook point. Measure the tail so it's about the same length as the hook, and then tie it in at whichever segment lines up best with that length. Make 2 tight wraps, and then check to make sure the abdomen isn't centered off to one side. Adjust if needed, and then jump to the next segment and secure it tightly. Trim off any extra segments, or if there aren't any, just clean up the area with some thread wraps, and then finish your thread positioned right in front of the last segment. Now for the wings. I'm using this beautiful Coq de Leon hen cape from Whiting Farms, and has some really nice mottled feathers. Now we want the smaller feathers up near the top of the neck, and since these feathers are fairly sparse, we'll actually be using 2 feathers per wing. Take 2 feathers and align the tips, and then pull down a few fibers near the tip, and check the length against the hook shank. Tying in 2 feathers at once can make them shift around pretty easily, so I like adding a tiny drop of resin at the base to hold them together. Once cured, they won't split apart while tying them in. And I strip off the lower fibers to make the tie-in easier, though some people leave them on to help keep the wings from spinning, but either method works. Repeat the process for the other wing, and now we have 2 small matched wings ready to go. Align the tips and tie both wings in directly in front of the abdomen, and pull the feathers backwards, and make a few wraps underneath them to prop them up. Now we want them to splay outward slightly. so make a figure 8 wrap between them to separate the wings. After a little adjusting, they should sit nicely in position. Trim off the excess stems, and then bring your thread back to the start of the abdomen. Using the same dubbing as before, form a small dubbing noodle and wrap it on to bulk up that last segment slightly, while also covering some thread wraps. Now for the hackle. You can use either a saddle or a cape, and I'm using a brown hackle today. We want to size the feather to the overall fly, not the hook, since the hook is smaller than the finished fly profile. So although this is a size 14 hook, I'm actually going to use a size 12 hackle. To prepare the feather, strip the fibers from the base and trim the excess stem, and remove a few fibers from the far side to make the wrapping easier. Tie the feather in right at the base of the abdomen, and I like to wrap the other direction as well to help keep it perpendicular to the hook. Check the stem length to make sure it won't crowd the eye, and trim it if needed. Now grab 2 strands of peacock hurl and trim off the fragile tips. Tie them in and bring your thread up to the hook eye. Start wrapping the hurl forward, making a wrap behind the hackle first, and then continue wrapping up to the wings. Pull the wings rearward, wrap in front of them, and continue wrapping until you reach your thread. Secure the hurl with a couple tight wraps, and you should be able to break off the excess cleanly. Now begin wrapping the hackle. Make as many wraps as you can behind the wings. I managed 3 here. Then pull the wings rearward and make a couple wraps in front of them as well. Capture the hackle, trim off the waist, and wrap back up over the tag end. Now whip finish your fly. Add a small drop of UV resin to secure the whip finish, and there we have it, the finished extended body mayfly. What an awesome looking fly. It really creates an incredibly lifelike mayfly profile, especially with that long segmented abdomen extending off the back of the hook. Now one downside to the flies tied this way is that they don't cast quite as cleanly as a standard dry fly. If you're making long casts with a lot of line speed, you can get a little line twist. But if you keep your fishing to normal distances, say 30 yards, and fish them on a softer rod, they cast just fine. And when you drop one in front of a rising trout, they usually don't hesitate to eat it. The extended abdomen gives the fly a very realistic silhouette, while the hollow dub body keeps it surprisingly buoyant. It also floats really well with just a little floating, and they're more durable than they might appear. Another thing I really like about this technique is how adaptable it is. You can use these extended bodies for all kinds of dry fly styles, and I think they pair especially well with parachute style flies. You could even adapt the same concept for other insects too, like dragonflies, crane flies, or even stoneflies, just by changing the thorax, wings, and proportions a bit. So what do you all think? You gonna give this one a try? Let me know down in the comments if you've tied the extended body mayflies before, or if it's something that you want to experiment with after watching this video. Well, we're now 3 flies into this Mayfly Dry series, and this box is filling up fast. We started the series with the Wally wing, a really cool technique for creating beautiful mayfly wings. And honestly, a Wally wing on an extended body mayfly might look pretty amazing. I may have to experiment with that sometime. Then last week we tied the classic Quill Gordon, a fly that has influenced dry fly designs for over 100 years. And of course this week with the extended body mayfly. Next week we'll wrap up the series with a really interesting hackle technique, the paraloop. So make sure you're subscribed and click the bell notification so you don't miss any future videos like this paraloop emerger. By the way, those fly boxes you saw earlier, I do sell them. They're magnetic backed with open compartments, which makes them perfect for small nymphs and dry flies. The magnets are strong enough that you can turn the box upside down and even give it a shake, and everything stays put. So you're not losing flies every time you bump the box or drop it, which is great for me because I'm pretty clumsy. Now I've got them available on my Amazon storefront with free shipping. If you want to check them out, link is below. As promised, here's that Vivas deal. Their VIP program is $99, and that gets you 10% off of everything. Also a $120 gift card and a free shirt. And if you use my link below, they'll even throw in a free bobbin holder as well. Or if you don't want the VIP, you can still get 10% off just by using that link. Also, check out my sponsor, Resin Fly. They made the hooks I use today, but also make some awesome fly rods and other gear at amazing prices. They're offering you all 15% off your first order. Just use that code McFly at checkout to get the discount. Thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, let me know by clicking the like button. You can also help this channel by sharing these videos with all your fishing friends. I will see you on the next video. Now you go catch some fish.